Welcome to my review of the Fender Mustang 1 V.2 version 2 amp. I've had this amp for approximately 1 year. I'm told it's a very popular, one of the most popular introductory amps, beginner amps if you will. It has a lot of features, a lot of various sounds, and I'm going to describe them in some detail. As well, I'm going to describe how to get a clean sound out of this amp, which is not as obvious as you might think. So stay tuned, and here we go. Here in Canada it cost $170, brand new out of the box. It's very cheap. It's about 15.5 inches wide, 14 inches tall, and about 7 inches in depth. About 10 pounds in weight. It's obviously a digital modeling amp, no tubes. It has one 8-inch speaker, 20 watts, and impedance of 8 ohms. It's basically small, light, cheap, easily transportable, and you have access to the Fender Fuse software on your computer if you want to hook it up that way as well. Okay, so I'll show you a close-up of all the controls and a quick review of what they do. Okay, let's go over to the controls of this amp. On the top left we've got a foot switch input. We've got a guitar input below it. We have the usual knobs such as gain, volume, treble, bass, master, various amp tones, 97 Deluxe, 59 Bassman, 65 Twin Reverb, British 60s, British 80s, American 90s, Supersonic, and Metal 2000. We've got a preset knob, save, exit buttons, 3 lights, 2 red, 1 green, a tap button, a mod, and a delay reverb, auxiliary, headphones input, and if you have the headphones engaged, the speaker is mute automatically, USB port for access to your computer, and the aforementioned Fender Fuse software, and of course the power button. Turn the power on. And you'll note that some of the lights come on. Let's talk about the tuner first. So if you want to use the tuner, basically all you have to do is I'll get closer here. This tap button will start flashing, and you want to hold that down for 2 seconds. So if you hold that down for 2 seconds, you notice the tap light becomes red, the exit light becomes green. So now if we play the low E string, you'll notice on the left side the E is illuminated, telling you it's the E string, and it's also telling me I need just a little bit more there we go, and we're in tune. To get out of the tuner, simply tap the tap button, and we're back to the regular amplifier. You'll note here as well, there's 3 sets of presets that I mentioned earlier. The amber presets, the green presets, and the red presets. So in total 24. The first 8, the amber 8, are not changeable. They're fixed in the amp unless you go on the Fender Fuse software site, and there you can amend them all. The other green and red are all changeable, and I'll show you how to do that now. So as an example, if you wanted, for instance, the British 80s, and you want to amend that tone, all you have to do is turn any one of these switches, except for the master and the preset, any one of these switches from where it is, and you'll note the red save button illuminates. When you get the tone you want, you just need to save it. It's that simple. One warning is it will save it in whatever volume you have selected. So you may want to save it at a lower volume, like perhaps a, I don't know, a 3 or a 2 or something. So you can do that for 16, all of the red, and all of the green presets. So a huge variety of using gain, volume, treble, and bass alone. As well, we have other functions on this this amplifier, including the let's talk about modulation. You notice when I turn the modulation knob, I'll just come over here a bit, we've got 2 lights came on, the save light and as well the number 1 light that's also used for the tuner. And I'll show you what that's for in a moment. I'll try to get nice and close here for you. So you'll notice around the modulation knob here it actually says mod A, B, C, and D. And for each letter there are actually 3 different modulation effects. And you can tell which one you're at by looking at the letter and looking at the light. In this case it's the left red light illuminated, so that's number 1, and the letter A. So we're actually on A1, which is chorus. So if I were to play something, that's chorus. And I'll just run through them. So there's A1. If I turn it to A2, you notice the center light, the number 2 light comes on, and that's chorus deep. A3 is flanger. And then we can get into B. B1 is bias sine tremolo. Now while I've got this going, you notice the tap light is flashing. You can also change the frequency of the reverberations going on here, or the modulation. So if I tap it slower, I can change the modulation to go slower or faster. So now it's going faster. B2 is optical vintage tremolo. And then B3 is optical tremolo fast. And again, you can change the frequency by tapping fast or slow. We'll go to C by vibratone slow. So there's C1. C2, vibratone fast. C3 is octaver. And there's D1 is phaser slow deep. D2 phaser medium. And D3 step filter. Okay, so within these, I'll turn the modulation off. There's also a delay reverb, which functions using the same ideas. It's off to the full left, and then it goes to A1, based again on the tuner light. And this is tape delay, 150 milliseconds. Repeat. And there's another stereo tape delay, 300 milliseconds. Mono delay is A3. B1 is small room reverb. B2 is plate reverb. And B3 large hall reverb. And then we go to C1 Fender 65 spring reverb, C2 Fender 63 spring reverb, and C3 is tape delay. And note that you can also change the frequency of the delay. D1. Let's see here. There we go. D1 is tape delay, large hall. D2, ducking delay, small hall. And D3, echo filter. So obviously a plethora of sounds can come out of this. If at any point you reach a setting that you want to save on either the green or the red, you simply hit the save button twice and it is saved. One other thing I wanted to show was, if I turn the master up slightly, I'll just run through each of the sounds for you. So let's turn the mod off, delay reverb off, turn that up. So that's 97 Deluxe, 59 Bassman, twin reverb, and you can change the frequency of that reverb. British 60s, British 80s, American 90s, supersonic, and Metal 2000. Now you'll notice throughout these sounds I'm showing you, there's no selection to get a clean setting on this amplifier, at least that is identified in the manual. But there is a trick to getting it. It's not in the manual, and I'll just show it to you now. And you'll note that when I run through these various settings here, that the sound obviously changes to each setting as you go through. So to get a clean setting, or as clean as you can get, turn the amplifier off, wait 2 seconds, turn the amplifier on, and as you're turning the power button on, press the tap button, the tuner tap button, at the same time. You'll know you're successful with the clean setting when the number 2 green light on the tuner is lit. And if I play, you'll note that changing through the various selections does not change the sound. To get out of this, just turn it off and then back on again. And now you're back with your effects. In conclusion, I would highly conclude. Thanks for watching this review of the Fender Mustang 1 V2 amp. Highly recommended, in my opinion, mostly for beginner players. It's a very interesting amp. You can learn a lot with it, the different sound effects, etc. You have access to the Fender Fuse software program. You can play with headphones, so very quietly in a small space. It's easily transportable. You can take it over and play with friends. Probably not giggable or played in a large hall. It just doesn't have the capacity for that. And I don't think it's really meant for that. But a great starter amp, highly recommended. I'll put a couple of links down on the bottom, a link to the manual, which is a PDF file, and as well a couple of other useful links. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.